Okay, the trauma I went through was losing one of my parents, who was my stepdad, but he lived with me and he was my best mate. Like, not just, I know people say, that they're good friends with their parents, but he was genuinely my best mate. It was all the people in my year, you have that large social group when you're a teenager, but this was good because he knew everyone as well. He was good friends with my actual dad, he was obviously good friends with my mum, he married her. But the trauma in it is how he died. It was 2011, he was 42, I can't even remember, I've blocked quite a lot of it out. But it was September the 6th, 2011, and it was such a boring day actually. You think that there would be something really interesting, you could tell something bad was going to happen. I couldn't, I was on Facebook at the time, and I remember my mum got a phone call. She looked really upset, like something had happened to Mike, and I didn't think much of it, but it was playing on my mind. So I rang one of my friends up and said, I feel a bit on edge. Could I just get some familiarity? Can we go to Asda's? Can we, just do something normal, take my mind off it? And we did, and it worked. We went to Asda's, and I bought a Yazoo. This is how absolutely mundane that day was. That was an hour, came back. It was a football match he went to. It was Wales versus England at Wembley. And then I got back after an hour feeling normal, feeling fine, enjoying my chocolate Yazoo. And then I saw on Facebook saying RIP to that Wales fan. And that was it. It was just this absolute, concision of it. There was no build up, it was just a casual, someone died. That's basically what parents are talking about, and you don't even know. And it was, obviously there's a whole new plethora of problems that come with slowly watching someone die from, cancer or things like dementia where they fade away. But this was just a different problem. I'm quite good with words. I can find the appropriate words for a situation, but I'm convinced there's no word in English, language, that can fully describe what that feeling's like. I tried to visualise. I tried to say it was like being dropped in the ocean. There's no land around you, but it was just so weird. As insensitive as that sounds, it was just weird. I was trying to describe to the people around me that I was just, nothing was unusual. If I had an hour to process that, in a way, and it was, and I still haven't fully processed it. I think if he'd have died some other way, I knew it was coming. I knew he was in hospital for a while, even just a week or two. It could have eased me into accepting it, but where it was so blunt and so sudden, I think that was just too big an ask. My mindset hasn't recovered from that. And I think the only way I've managed to deal with it in a way now is just to not think about it. I don't want to sound rude, obviously, I can casually talk about, what he was like, Mike, his name was. I can casually say, Johnny did that, and he was such an idiot. He asked for the wrong hotel room, he actually walked in on two people. I can talk about that. There's no sense of sentiment to that. It's just a funny story. But when I actually think about, I'm never going to hear his voice again. He's never gonna ring me. I've still got his number saved on my phone and all the texts. And I think the last one was make sure you walk the dog. And I think accepting the reality of it, because I try not to think about it. I've thought about ringing him from time to time just because it's so dreamlike. It's not really on it. I'm going to go back to Cardiff and he's going to be there, this little shitty car. His yellow council jacket. was so strange. And even it's just small things as well. Like my dog used to, so she still does for now. When the side gate goes, she thinks it's him. And I'm like, I can relate with that. I can relate with my dog on this. Whenever I see like a council lorry driving past the big yellow ones with all the cones in the back, I always try to like look in the window to see if that's him. Obviously it's not. I say, yeah, the biggest component of the whole just trauma of losing him is just accepting that it's actually happened. It's just too weird. I mean, I think the problem with the aftermath as well is because he was a football fan. Some of the newspapers don't like football fans, and they try to say like, oh, he was a convicted hooligan, and he ran onto a football pitch when he was 19. That's not. We used to donate to dogs' homes and things like that. That's when we got our dog. So you get a bit selfish as well. You see the newspapers talking about him. It's like you can't talk about him at all, even if it's nice. Like that's my stepdad. You can't do it. That's illogical. I guess you can't do that, but it's a strange one. I think the main thing I'd like, to communicate to people is when they say like, "Oh, I'm sure it must be terrible," I can't understand. It's like, this is true. You can't. It's until you've experienced it, then you realise, like, oh wow, you're right. You really can't describe it. There's no way to describe it. I thought I could understand it when I, read the newspapers, like they found the body of a child. Like, oh, it must be terrible. But I thought I could logically shape what that feeling must be like. Like, I don't have a kid, obviously, but I could say like, well, I imagine, there's the sense of attachment you're losing. All that psychological terminology goes out the window. There's, when you actually do it, it's something else. Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Do you want to stare into the camera for like a minute?
No.
That's fine. Cool, thank you.
Intense.